Talk Live.
I don't know. I get a little tired of hearing it, right?
The 99 is terrible. Here, I'm lacking for some reason. It's real white and flabby.
WTF. What are we doing?
Eddie, I tell everybody to listen that we're a really big deal.
Continues to grow and grow and grow.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Goat Talk Live here on an off week. I said in the little thing that the league racing's off, but Goat Talk's on, baby. And here we are tonight with the owners, the head honchos of Goat Locker Racing, Patrick and Jamie Barcus. What's happening tonight, fellas?
Oh, hanging out, having a good time. It's good to see my buddy with us here today. I mean,
yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, we don't get to see each other enough, and not that we don't talk to each other enough, but hey, we're going to hang out tonight. We're going to talk a lot about some racing playoffs. We got a bracket to go through. And of course, we'll talk about some of the things that are happening within the nonprofit world and all that stuff. But hey, Eddie, check it out. We got some snazzy new hats, man.
How about that? Well, that's a perfect segue into our main sponsor, Goat Talks, presented by SAVE22. And I want to thank those guys for coming on board. Save22.vet at Save22vet on YouTube. Go check them out. We're so happy to have them a part of this. And the hats are amazing. They're really cool looking hats. I love the whole get up. It doesn't make me look any better, but at least I don't look worse, and that's always a good thing.
You could probably get the sticker off.
No. I'm under 50, so I leave stickers on. So.
We got to flatten that bill out, I think, though.
This is the way it came. I'm not going to flatten it out.
All right.
Like that. But, want to thank them and everything they do. Hope y'all are watching tonight. And, can't wait to see more of Mr. Moser and what all the cool stuff Save22 is doing. Also want to thank our we'll throw a little graphic up there so you can see where to go. You can scan that QR code. They'll take you straight to it. It's pretty simple. Just type in save22.vet. They'll take you there. But you can scan that QR code if you're snazzy. But also want to thank happyhourracing.com, their sponsorship of all of ATYL Media. Of course, Taylor Kitchen over there doing fantastic work. Her stuff is just unbelievable, especially her coverage of NASCAR. She was at Martinsville last week. Go check out her stuff, but also check out happyhourracing.com. You can scan it there. If you got some stuff you're looking for, your favorite driver, you need something new, you're about to go to a race this year, and you need a new hat, new shirt, die cast, anything like that, go check them out. ATYL is the little / after happyhourracing.com. So thank them as well. We got some stuff. We got some nice William Byron swag from them that was really nice. So appreciate them for doing that. So, all right, well, let's get into the show tonight. I don't know. What do y'all want to talk about first? Looks like we got some folks in chat already. We got Tim Jones and Craig Bontrager. What's going on, guys? Glad to have y'all in chat. Jamie, where you been? What's going on with you? Let's go ahead and get you in here. Let's talk about it. You're here. You're here today. Here today, gone tomorrow. Whatever the saying is. What's been going on in your life?
Yeah, well, I've been back for a couple weeks now for racing and stuff. Was able to make the Xfinity playoffs. We're not talking about playoffs yet, but was able to make the Xfinity playoffs. So I'm happy about that. Didn't make enough races in the other series, but. It kind of is what it is. Where the job goes. Not a whole lot I can do about it. I probably spend more time away from home now than I ever did before I retired. But
what is it that you do? I don't think I really know what your job is.
Oh man, that's hard to explain for people that don't know. So I am the sole avionics person for the Navy's T-34 program. There's only 16 of them left flying. We have 6 of them over at the East Coast at Oceana, and then another 10 of them scattered across California. Keep those flying. They use them during the summer mainly. Their main mission is to throw kids in them, the academy kids, ROTC kids during the summer. Try to sell them on naval aviation. Throw them in the back seat, take them up, get them sick, bring them back. Right, that kind of thing. We keep it around because You know, it doesn't have ejection seats, so it's you don't have to worry about getting them seat qualified, all that stuff, right? So that's what we're doing with them. They've not been a trainer for over 10 years now, right? But so that's what I do. I have to support both coasts. During the summer, that's why I'm always gone for that. But then throughout the year, if they need help, I have to go help them. So yeah, that's what I do.
That's
probably doesn't make any sense at all to you, does it?
You know what? I pretend like it did.
There you go.
And I'm
make it till you make it, baby.
Whatever it is that you do, I'm thankful you do it. Well, we're glad to have you here tonight. Well, y'all, let's have some conversation. What y'all want to talk about? We'll leave it open ended since we got the boss here.
Ooh.
Y'all got something awesome.
Well, we got.
All right, we're gonna start out with pickleball. Jamie.
Yeah, pickleball.
Yeah. Well, pickleball.
Can I leave? Can I come back in like 15 minutes?
I gotta say, man, what a blast it's been. We've got some renovated courts over here where I live, and it's been awesome. I've enjoyed the hell out of it. What a weird thing to kind of enjoy.
Yeah.
But me and my wife wanted to kind of do something together, but also get a little movement going on in our lives. You know, a little bit. I don't know about y'all, but exercise for me is. It's hard for me to just go out and run for 30 minutes. I just can't. I can't really do that. And so I always have to find something competitive. iRacing is very competitive, but man, I tell you what, it really doesn't do much for the old heart health.
True. I mean, sometimes, it's all right, but yeah, sometimes not so much. But yeah, I mean, I get it.
It could probably be a little detrimental to heart health.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know, especially some of those guys that we got breaking their stuff and throwing their steering wheels and all that stuff, but whatever.
Hey,
but yeah,
wrong with a good steering wheel throw.
Yeah, see, I'm too terrified. I'm so guarded of my stuff. I would throw myself before I threw my sim races.
This thing right here is pretty robust.
Yeah,
you can huck it pretty good, man.
Yeah, but those monitors that you throw it against.
I never broke a monitor.
I know.
Let's get that one straight.
Who's broke a monitor? Jake?
I'll give you 3 guesses, and the first 2 don't count.
Okay. Well, I mean, Jake is single-handedly keeping like Turtle Beach or whoever makes headphones and his local drywall guy for sure is.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of that in the past. We got a celebrity here, by the way. Logan Sturgeon, who does he's now Big Fish Barbecue. He's a celebrity apparently. But I've seen and heard him punch through a wall that's near his so hey, I guess we're all guilty of it. I don't know, but yeah, I'm too guarded of my stuff. I would do that thing where I go to punch the wall and I would just at the last second pull it, just be like, that was enough. I'm scared to death of breaking my stuff. So pickleball is a good outlet. I'm glad that we picked that up. And they just opened the courts right down the road, so we're excited to get in there. It's like Michael McCarthy says, the cost of pickleball gear rivals my sim rig. What the hell? What are you buying?
Either he's buying ridiculous paddles or he don't have a very good sim rig. One or two.
I didn't know. Maybe are you buying the court? Like, what are you buying?
I mean, I felt like I've got a good paddle because this old man called me out, when I first started playing, because I was out there with my, $35 for 4 of them set from Amazon. And, he started talking crap about my paddle. So I was like, all right, well, I'll fix this. And I thought I bought a pretty good paddle. It was like $100. So I don't know how you could, I don't know. I've seen for some of them like $400 and stuff, but.
Did it make you he's got a $2,000 ball machine and he ain't talking about
pickleball.
Lord. He ain't talking about pickleball, you know what I'm saying? Turn the chat on for this so people can see what we're saying.
Yeah.
What we're talking about.
That's kind of crazy he's got one of those because my sister went and bought one of those type machines. She'd only played like 3 times and she went and spent $2,000 to buy that machine.
Good
and now she has to haul it around everywhere to use it. So I don't know. I don't know how it's really worth it, but
Tim Jones says, he said, I married my ball machine. Oh, that's good. I like that.
All right, turn the chat off.
Pickleball is fun. Hopefully, what we're going to do is we're obviously next time we have a big meetup, we're going to have a big pickleball tournament, and
When
regardless
was that
of what,
decided?
right now, the
Right now,
announcement.
it
Spoiler
just-
alert! We're just
No,
letting it all
no.
out of the bag. We're having a pickleball tournament, and there's nothing you can say about it, Pat.
Oh,
Um,
awesome.
Well, as far as announcements to go, I do want to kind of throw one in there before we get too far. Goat
Yep.
Locker is looking for broadcasters.
Yes.
We are looking for folks who want to do some announcing, producing for Goat Locker in the future. Don't have an idea what exactly that's going to be, but in the summer series, love to have some folks that are interested in doing something like that. If you haven't already, PM me, send me a private message on Discord. We'll get you in the right, head in the right direction. It's a lot, and you're gonna have to do some work. That's one thing I need to kind of say, and I'm gonna go ahead and do my little disclaimer here. This is gonna require work. These are paid positions, but they're gonna require work on your side, your on your end. It's not just people handing you things and you just do them and show up. It's going to require some serious work and to get better. We've had a few guys that shadowed, which I really appreciate everybody that's already putting forth the effort. And I had somebody, I won't say who it is, but said last night, like, I have a new appreciation for broadcasters and announcing and stuff because I just didn't realize how much was on their shoulders and stuff like that. So what we'll do is we'll have folks come in. Anybody that's interested, we'll get you going. We'll see if you're, some people may not be capable if their computer's not good enough and stuff like that of doing production. It's a lot for sure. But we'll get you in there and we'll let you guys kind of jump in onto broadcast. If you're doing production, we'll have you record doing all the stuff once we get everything set up, and we'll take a look at it. We'll see if we can't improve on that, and that way you'll be ready to go and you won't be flailing around live. So if you're interested, jump on board now. It's time to go. We got to get that going. So really excited about the future. Nothing to announce, but just excited about where we're going. Got a lot of energy behind me, which is always nice. I like feeling rejuvenated, excited, and wanting to build some stuff, and that's what we're doing right now. So if you're interested, reach out to me. We'll get you going in the right direction and see if we can't get you on the mic. We got plenty of opportunities coming up.
Yeah, I'm excited about that too. I mean, to be able to do all this stuff internally, we've been talking about this for months and months and months, and there's a lot of work that's gone into it. And I know, Eddie, when we talked the other day, how excited you were about just how many people jumped up and said, yeah, let me be a part of this. And, the excitement behind it. And I just think that's awesome. I think, the more things that Goat Locker Racing continues to do, the more that, people want to get involved and those types of things. So I can't wait, man. I can't wait to see the new personalities we're going to have in the booth and, how the shows come together and all the shows looking the same. And
yeah,
so it's going to be awesome.
Well, I tell you what, I'm going to put us both on the spot. Let's just talk about what we're talking about. Why are we beating around the bush? Let's just say it. Do you have any problem with me saying it now?
What are you getting ready to say?
What we're talking about right now.
No, well,
what our plan is.
I mean, are you gonna yank in my half-made logo?
No, we're not gonna put you on the spot like that. We'll just tell everybody what we're doing. You ain't figured it out by now. It is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, exactly.
Goat Locker is gonna bring everything in house for the fall series. There has been a desire for Goat Locker to, we have 3 or 4 different broadcasting partners, and which we appreciate 100%. I mean, could not do it without these partners, and it's not because of anything other than Goat Locker wants to have everything be internal. We want the quality to come from us as a group, community of folks that want to work together and be a part of it. You think about your broadcast where somebody from outside comes in and they go, I don't know these guys on the track, and how that could be a bummer sometimes. And so doing it this way, we know they come from the inside. We know everybody's invested in the community, and also it just brings all the eyeballs. I think the most important thing to Goat Locker. We're not sending folks to V Speed, which, like I said, love V Speed, no doubt about it. All these different places that we send folks and have a season ends and broadcast company A says, hey, we're not going to be able to broadcast your races next season. So now Pat has to go, or Jamie have to go find somebody else to do it, and it's just a constant revolving door. So it's our desire to have something internal and in-house, and yeah, I'm really excited about it. So I guess it's going to be called Goat Locker Racing Media, but we'll see how that goes. And I think it's a great opportunity. It's going to be fun to build stuff, to kind of get something off the ground, create something. If you're a creative person, it's not just I want to announce or I want to produce, but I've had people reach out and say, "Oh, it's exciting. I want to put, iRacing videos out there. I want to do track guides, on Goat Locker's channels. I want to, whatever, all the things that can help the community, tutorials on how to do certain things. All that stuff is a place for where now Goat Locker can be sort of a media machine where if you want to make shorts and make little cool stuff for Goat Locker, you can do it. As long the whole idea is that it's there for Goat Locker. It's not there to improve your stock. It's not there to show off your thing. It's there to improve and promote Goat Locker. So if anything you got that can help do stuff with Goat Locker, that's what it's going to be for. And I think what a great opportunity for some folks. We got a lot of creators and people who make videos in our community. So going to be Charles Stevens says 2 + 2 = potato production. Yeah,
I don't know if we're going to go with that one, but I mean, we're going to soft launch it for the summer series, and we're working. I say Eddie is working really hard. Yes. I don't think I'm going to throw so much of a we into this thing, but Eddie's working really hard on everything. So, and then we're going to launch it, full up and around for the fall series, and for all the reasons Eddie just stated, and. One other thing, it's just going to allow the community to get more involved with what we're doing as well. Allow them, some of these, guys to get in here that want to get behind the mic, want to get behind the video board or whatever. Allow them to get more involved with what we're doing. So we're all excited about it. A lot of work going on, but I can't wait, man. I literally can't wait.
Yeah,
it's gonna be fun.
I can't wait for that first broadcast. That's what I'm excited about. So, but yeah, we got some folks in there that are interested. We got a lot of work to do. We've also got some really good folks that are going to be that are already a part of stuff and have done broadcasts before that are going to come in and have done stuff in the past. And some folks that I didn't even know had any kind of broadcasting, chops or anything that sent me a link. And there's a guy that I'm not going to mention any names just yet, but said that, I've done broadcasts in the past, and he's done really good announcing and stuff, and we didn't even know it. So had we not done this, we'd never know, and he would still be in his one series, and that would be all we knew about him. So really excited to get to know folks and do this kind of thing. So if you're interested, if at all, you've got an idea, we'll put you through the training, see if you make it out the other end.
Hey, and this might even give me and Jamie an opportunity to do some guest announcing again. Because I know we talk about it, maybe not as often as we used to, but man, I miss being in the booth. We had a lot of fun together, Jamie. Yeah,
we did have fun, but when it kept us from actually being able to race, that was kind of downer to it, right? It became, and we did it so the truck series could have a broadcast when we first started, because we know, it's important to people to have that broadcast, and we definitely couldn't afford to pay for it back then, know. And then we started doing the Maple Ridge series. We started doing that so that we could bring money in for Goat Locker, but yeah, I mean, it was fun doing it, but it was not as fun as racing. So, so yeah, I'm definitely down for occasional get back in there and do it, have a good time with it. But to do it week in, week out, no, thank you.
Well, I'm just excited about the opportunities of having a bunch of people in-house if they all stick it out, because there's so many cool things you can do with a lot of bodies when it comes to cool broadcasts and stuff. So a lot more to come there, and just to be able to highlight the cool stuff that is going to come from Goat Locker. That'll be what it exists for. Is there's other cool things happening in Goat Locker, and that's what it's going to exist to talk about. So yeah, just super pumped. Can't wait to get like all of our sim rig giveaway videos and stuff once we start doing more and more of those, which, I mean, y'all did a great job last time of getting some footage and stuff for us to throw together. So yeah, I mean, it's a really cool opportunity. Yeah, we're just I'm going around in circles, but I'm excited. I'm really excited. Well, let's see what kind of nonprofit conversation we got to talk about, I guess.
Well, that area of Goat Locker never stops. It doesn't ever sleep or any of those types of things. We got a lot of really cool things going on, but really, I mean, I know we want to kind of dig in. We haven't spent, over the course of these episodes this year, we spent a lot of time talking about the nonprofit, which has been amazing. We've had some amazing guests as well.
Yeah.
I'm really kind of excited for this episode that we just get to focus on the league and the racers and the drivers and all that stuff. But I'll talk about a couple things that we've got going on. I had a meeting yesterday with SAVE22, about the upcoming hike. So everybody mark your calendars, please. Especially if you're in the state of Ohio or somewhere close to that you can get to. Massillon, Ohio, on Saturday, May the 3rd is the hike. Opening ceremonies for that. It's at, so if you just kind of Google Veterans Memorial Park in Massillon, Ohio, that'll get you there. And there'll be a lot of other vendors there. We will be there set up with the sim rig and all that other kind of fun stuff. Still to be determined if we're going to yank the race car over there or not. We'll see. But opening ceremonies start at 9 a.m. So if you don't get a chance to listen to me talk enough, I've mentioned this a couple times, they're going to pull me up on stage so I can deliver what they think is going to be a riveting speech. We'll see how it actually comes out. and then, they got a couple other things. I think the mayor of Massillon's going to talk and all that other kind of crazy stuff. And then the hike starts about 10 o'clock, goes through the streets of downtown, and we'll wrap it up. And it should be a really fun day. So if you're in the area and you can help volunteer some time, I would greatly appreciate it. It takes, a couple people to actually run the booth, somebody taking care of the sim rig and all that other kind of crazy stuff. But I'd just love to see people. It's always great when we get together and have a lot of fun. So I am truly looking forward to that. And again, I had an amazing conversation yesterday with John, and should be a heck of a lot of fun, and won't take up a whole lot of time, but really cool. It'll be the first, we'll call it the first in-person event, for Goat Locker this year. And looking forward to kind of getting that train rolling as well, getting out there with the public and getting the sim rig and everything out there. So, and fingers crossed, I'm going to get the car out there as well. Because I heard that there was a deal made with the mayor that I might be able to do some burnouts down the road. So
during the walk,
maybe not so much when there are people walking. They might want to clear the area.
I can see everybody walking and just enjoying the time, and all of a sudden,
yeah,
just doing donuts, knocking people over.
Well, that car's it is a Chevy. It's not a Mustang.
They probably won't make it then. I hate to say it.
Here we go.
All right, we missed that one.
We're gonna roll on for this.
Eddie missed that joke. Okay.
I got it. I just didn't acknowledge it.
That's one way of doing it.
Well, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. And then, we did the Sidra giveaway with Nick, who's kind of getting himself integrated into the league and things like that. So again, everybody reach out to him as he's still kind of getting his feet wet a little bit here too, and getting accustomed to everything that we're doing. But he's been an awesome addition. We are in the process of finding the next one. I have a full simulator sitting downstairs that is ready to go out the door. So we're myself and the board and Jamie, we're all, going through the process of identifying the next one. So hopefully here in the next couple of weeks, we'll get that person identified and another sim rig will go out the door. And then I've got 2 more on order. So we're going to keep the party rolling. And it's going to be a big year. And I can't wait to really start getting some things set in motion this year and get out there some more. But, we got a couple more events coming up on the calendar as well. June 26th, I think it is. It's not the 28th. I don't know why I put the 28th on there. June 26th, the last Saturday in June, obviously. I said June, so it's in June. The last Saturday of June is the Lincoln Tech Car Show. And it's going to be an evening car show, which I'm excited for. So hopefully we don't just roast out in the 90-degree weather. So it should be pretty nice out there. I'll be at Lincoln Tech this week coming up, and for a campus visit and to talk to some of the staff there, some more planning going into that. I think everybody's kind of seen it. A couple of people actually shared it in Discord, the big Sim Expo up in the Chicagoland area. And yes, we will 100% be there. It's actually the title sponsor is is Alexander PCs, and we'll be there with Alexander PCs. So that's that first weekend of September up there. And then, we're still putting together the pieces for the next race. So right now we're still targeting the Coca-Cola 600, but we'll get more out there.
What you got, Jamie?
Not a whole lot, but I'll tell you what I will talk about, since it got brought up in Discord the other day, and people obviously have questions because we've asked people to fill out all these forms, and they're probably like, what the hell are we doing this for? And that's the extreme scoring. That is a work in progress that we're dealing with behind the scenes right now. It's has a huge learning curve to it. And what happens is if you don't have the points exactly right before you bring in the first race to it, then you're set for failure right off the bat, right? And the season had already started when we started this process with extreme scoring, and it just didn't work out, and it's not accurate. So it's definitely not ready for public consumption yet, but it will be. It's being used in the background, and once the season's over, all the series directors will get them together, because just honestly, to give them the training that they need to actually use it for their series, nobody really has the time right now to do it because of all the racing going on and everything else, jobs, whatever. So it just wasn't working out. So after the season's over, we will get the training to the people that need the training to be able to use it. And we should be able to start using it for the summer and start seeing what we can actually do with it. The goal is that we will be able to put all the rosters, the standings, all these things will be able to go to our website, right? So it'll be out there. People can go find it. You can point people to it, whatever. It'll be outside of our Discord, right? Which is, if you're not in our Discord, you're never going to see it. So, there's a lot we can do with it. And like I said, I know people are like, hey, if you asked me to fill out 5 different forms for this, and I'm not seeing anything from it. Well, yeah, but trust me, your stuff is in there. And actually, once we get past the season, it should be a lot easier moving forward, because we won't have the bulk of additions like we did for this year. So just wanted to throw that out and let people know.
I can't remember. Does it ask for your iRacing ID, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So what'll be nice is just to kind of piggyback off what you're saying, it's always nice to have like a roster that has information that can be put on a spreadsheet. Does it output to a spreadsheet?
Yes, it will, and it's got the stuff in there you just take it. Now we will have to get with our web guy, Dan, right? Dan takes care of our website. We'll have to get with him to actually use that, but it should be pretty seamless. He should be able to take whatever this extreme scoring puts out, and it's designed, and then just go straight to the website with it pretty easily. It's cool. There's a lot of stuff that's in it. I mean, prime example, the GT3 series. One of the rules that Tim put out was whatever car you run your first race with is what you run the rest of the whole season with, right? So you load in. That's one of the reasons why that was a big deal to have those guys do it, because you load in to extreme scoring what car they're going to drive. So, week 3, they were driving a Corvette. Now week 3, they show up driving a Porsche. It tells on them right away. So nobody has to really be looking for it or, anything like that. So it's pretty cool. It's going to do a lot more than just what iRacing does, even though all the information really is there in iRacing, I guess, to a certain extent.
God, no.
Well,
iRacing is garbage. They've been needing to work on that for years, of league information. Like, they don't have any kind of data. Like, Sim Racing Hub has been sort of like the go-to for a long time, just to be able to see stats. They don't have iRacing doesn't give you any stats. I mean, very limited. So I'm excited to have something like this. And
this is going to give you stats. It's going to give you more stats than you're probably ever going to care to look at.
Well, and one thing that is nice going forward that maybe you haven't thought about yet is history of the league.
Right.
Which is something that's hard to keep up with in iRacing. And so now we can keep how many wins does this person have in the last 3 or 4 years? How many championships do they have? How many how many race wins do they have? Such a cool thing to do. And on the broadcasting side, we'll be able to take that info, put it into standings, and have live points and stuff during the races for these cutoff races, like we've done it for the Friday series. We could do that likely for every series, and so we'll be able to add more things with that type of stuff. So yeah, worth every minute that Jamie's put into it, and every 2 minutes that it takes for you to fill it out.
Agreed.
Well, since we're talking about filling stuff out, I'm ready to talk about this. I can't wait. I am ready to talk about this dadgum bracket. And here it is. And so we have we're the second round. We're moving a little bit slow, but we're going to get through this. Since we had an off week, we kind of extended it. But yeah, I mean, this was one of the toughest rounds, and it proved. I really haven't looked at it, but I did look at one or two, and it proved to be one of the closest rounds yet. Obviously, it should continue to be that way. But I don't know. I'd be curious to know what folks. What you guys think. I'd love to hear some predictions before we watch or go through it. Jamie, I guess, because I think Pat might have looked at it already, but
I don't know the results.
Yeah.
No.
Well, the first round up here, the Flame DuPont against the Tide is soul crushing. Because I do not know what to pick. It's my favorite driver, the favorite scheme that he ever drove, against my favorite scheme of all time. It's impossible for me to pick. Just an unbelievable matchup for round two. And then you had the brothers. You got the Labonte brothers over here, the Kellogg versus the Interstate Batteries, which is equally as tough. You've got the Haviland 28, the Davey Allison scheme. And I still say this is not even the best one against the Valvoline 1997 Martin scheme. You've got the Home Depot against the Long Lewis 97, the Mac Tonight Bill Elliott 94 scheme against the Bud baseball. You got the Silver Bullet against the Skull Bandit. And then, golly, what a matchup this is. The Goodwrench number 3 against the Miller Lite. And then you've got the blue Jeff Gordon car and the Miller number 12. So, yeah, tough matchups. But y'all want to jump in? Or y'all got something else you want to say?
No. Let's
all right. Let's jump into it. All right. Well, moving on to the final in group number 1 by one single vote.
No,
is the Flame DuPont scheme by one freaking vote. So 1 seed continues on in this bracket, and it will face off against the Valvoline number 6. Yeah,
yep.
I mean, no surprise. I mean, I guess it's not a blowout by any means. 8-12.
No. Definitely need to get some more people voting, though.
Yeah, maybe we'll get some as it gets closer to this. All right, well, let's move on to Group 2. We'll see who out of the Labonte brothers.
Got to be the Kellogg's car.
See, I'm hoping the Interstate Batteries, but I think you're going to be right. Because I haven't looked at it. It's got to be. Let's see what it is. And it is. Kellogg's number 5 will move on. So the 1 seed continues on in Group 1 and Group 2. And then out of the Pepsi, you got a 6 seed versus a 2 seed. And look at that. Number 12.
Yeah.
The Buick going to move on.
Oh, wow. I really thought all the Gordon cars would move on.
Well, we're down to just one Gordon car as that Buick moves on. So we got a 1 and 2 seed in Group 2 and a 1 and 2 seed in Group 1. So things are going as planned. Move down into Group 3. I hope this is close, but I think I know who's going to move on.
Right.
And not even close.
Yeah.
Dale Earnhardt's number 3, the 1988 Goodwrench Monte Carlo SS is going to move on. The number 2, Rusty Wallace, is going to call it quits there in the semifinals. And this one, I don't know. It could go either way. And a landslide for the Silver Bullet. How about that? Well, a 1 and 2 seed again.
I think is going to be pretty easy.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be that Home Depot and the Budweiser number 8. I mean,
yep, I think you're right. 19-2. the worst upset
Woo!
of the entire bracket, and the Home
Well,
Depot will move on.
and just like in the the NCAA tournament, when you put the best team as the number 4 seed, that's exactly what you get right there. I mean, you got a 1 seed down as the 4th. There's no way that should have been the 4th number 1 seed right there.
What are you saying now?
Putting that Home Depot scheme group 4, that's basically saying that that's the fourth grouping, right? So that's the 4th number 1, right?
Mm-hmm.
No way that car should have been the 4th one. No way.
Okay. All right. A strong opinion is coming from our normally not strong opinion, Jamie Barcus.
Right. Yeah.
And another
19-2.
just demolishing in Group 4 is
Yeah.
the 1 and 2 seed, so they'll go straight through. So now we have. I'm not sure if it's super interesting yet, because I think we had some really strong 1 seeds. So I think definitely the Final Four is going to be crazy, but the matchups here are interesting because and voting should be open now, so you should be able to go in there and start voting for this round as soon as we finish here. I'm actually going to go ahead and hit save, and then you'll be able to go ahead and start voting, I do believe. So in Group 1, we're going to have the 1 and 2 seed, the Flame DuPont number 24 against the Valvoline number 6, another tough one for me. And then you've got the Kellogg's and the Miller number 12, and honestly, I don't. That one's easy for me. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but that to me, I don't know. Well, I don't know, Pat. What do you think right there?
Oh, I think it's that Kellogg's car.
See, I completely disagree. I think that 12 Miller is one of the best looking cars in the field, and I would be interested to see if it moves on or gets it beat. This one.
Yeah.
This is going to be one of those legacy ones. Just how good is the scheme? Can it overcome the number 3? Nobody's been able to do it yet. Not the Camel, not the Black Miller 2. Can the Silver Bullet get it done? I'm not sure. And then probably the second hardest matchup maybe is in group number 4, because the Home Depot has been, as you said, it was a number 4 top seed, but it was a strong top seed. It was right there with the rest of them. And so now it's up against probably, if you're 45 and under, one of the more legendary paint schemes with all the things that go along with it, in that Bud number 8, the baseball scheme from July 2001 against the Home Depot Pontiac. That should be, in my eyes, probably the toughest matchup.
Yeah, I think so as well. I mean, those are 2 really iconic paint schemes, and I think they both definitely have their following as well. So yeah, that one's going to be pretty interesting for sure. I think Group 3 is. I don't think there's much of a decision there, but you never know. You never know how that one's going to come out, and then I think the other ones. You see, I still think we're going to agree to disagree on Group 2 there, and then I'm pretty confident in Group 1.
Any surprises so far?
I don't think so. I don't really see any surprises. I think I don't think we're going to see 4 number 1s in the Final Four here, like we're seeing in the NCAA tournament. But I'm not shocked by any of them that are there. Maybe a little bit that the 28 Davey Allison car didn't get more support there. I kind of thought it would, just because it's Davey Allison. But because look, I'm not going to buy everybody's voting on these things because they really like the scheme. I think it's really going to come down to people are going to support their favorite driver, regardless of what the scheme actually looks like. So,
yeah. Well, I'm surprised that there's not any doubled up drivers. Not 2 Jeff Gordons. It's all.
Well, I was shocked that Pepsi Gordon didn't get through. I mean, I really thought there would be 2 Gordon cars in this Elite 8.
Yeah, it was close. Just 2 votes separate them. That's all it would have taken to move our strong 6 seed to possibly make it. It was close. I mean, it was definitely a close matchup. So there's the finals in each group, And then once we get on, we'll move on to the Final Four and then the championship, see who takes home the bracket challenge. So thanks to everybody who's voting. Please share it with other people. It doesn't have to be just Goat Locker folks. Just share it with their friends, family. Say, hey, get your opinion in here and let us know. All right, well, we're back.
Well, we've been here the whole time, but sure, we're back.
Well, let's move on to one of my favorite segments of the week, and that is the GOAT of the Week. So, I'm going to start it off this one. Yeah, I'm going to start it off. I usually put y'all on the spot, but I'm gonna put it on. The GOAT of the Week is everybody that sent me a message for the broadcasting. The GOATs of the week in my eyes. This place is it is a group of volunteers and folks who are trying to want to be a part of this community. They see the value in the community and they step up when things are needed. When things we need somebody to do this, need somebody to do that. It's unbelievable how quickly people want to jump on board and be a part of something really cool. So everybody that has messaged me about that, if you didn't message me because you don't feel like you can do it, that's okay. I'm not dogging anybody who didn't message me, but I just want to shout those people out that said, hey, I don't know if I can do this. I don't even know what any of this is, but I want to be a part of it, and that means a lot. So those are my GOATs of the week.
I love it. That's actually a pretty good one. We probably should have talked beforehand because I think you just took my GOAT of the week. But anyway, that's all right. My GOAT of the week is Jeff McConey, actually. A lot of people don't see the behind the scenes talks that me and Jeff have. Jeff is really committed to Goat Locker Racing, not only what's happening within the racing league, but what's happening outside of it. We've had a lot of awesome conversations about, supporting, what he's doing in his racing career and getting, Goat Locker some more coverage when he's out there, which has been very gracious on his part to help spread the word about what we're doing. And then he's just been, there to help us out with whatever we need. So he has been a tremendous supporter of Goat Locker Racing. So I know there's a lot of turmoil in the setup shop world, but at the end of the day, Jeff's a really good guy. Whether you care for his setups or not, or any of those types of things, Jeff has just been a really good partner of Goat Locker Racing. Had just an incredible call with him yesterday as well, and it's just humbling when I get to talk to people like that are just, they're not veterans themselves, those types of things, but just really love our mission and want to support it any way they can.
What you got, Jamie?
Well, I'm going to steal your idea with the whole blanket GOAT of the week thing. Just throw it over a wide net here. My GOAT of the week is going to be all the genuine goats in Goat Locker Racing. Since April 1st is a Navy Chief's birthday. What did I forget what it is this year? What is it, Pat? 132 years. 1893 is when we came into existence. 132. And special shout out to Corrine Smith, who has had her final day in the Navy and is retiring. So congratulations to her. It's nice on this side of it. So enjoy it. And yeah, so all of us Chiefs in Goat Locker, Ryan, Kareem, they're the GOATs of the week.
Love it. Well, one of my favorite segments is GOAT of the week. And so we definitely want to appreciate all of those folks. Well, I'm ready to talk about. Oh, go ahead.
The real birthday is June 1st, 1958, right, Jamie?
Oh, Lord.
That's the one. That's the one. So, but we'll let everybody else have April 1st.
Okay.
Thanks.
All right. Well, that was well worth stopping me for. Appreciate you doing that. Let's talk about some playoff racing. Man, what an incredible season so far. One of the most competitive the entire seasons that we've had in Goat Locker. There's been a couple series that kind of pick up here and there that are that have been really competitive, and then you'll have some that are just blowouts. But this season, I feel like just just the whole league has just been incredibly competitive. Great racing, just across the board. I feel like it's been really solid. So we wanted to take some time tonight and kind of highlight some of that stuff and get ready for some playoff racing. Regular season's over, guys.
Yeah, it's always a fun time of the year. You know, we get to take a little week off here, to kind of regroup, reset, get everybody kind of fired up for the playoffs. Hopefully some people are getting pretty fired up for it. We got some cool, well, I mean, this year we're handing out 2 belts. So in the Premier Cup Series is going to get a championship belt. And then, the Premier Truck Series is going to get a championship belt. And of course we do some really cool trophies for everybody else. But, overall, congratulations to everybody that made the playoffs. And hopefully we have some damn good playoffs for sure.
Yeah, well, you know what? I think for league racing, and Jamie, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I do think, while everybody's got their opinion about playoff racing when it comes to real life NASCAR, I think when it comes to league racing and racing online, I feel like playoffs are really fun and really cool. You've got, nobody's going to run away with the thing with 5 races to go and have the championship locked up. You got to race all the way to the end, and you're not guaranteed one single race. So I think it's cool. I think it's awesome. And I'm really excited to get into it. Do y'all want to jump right in and look at some of the brackets?
Yeah.
Well, heck, let's do it. Let's do it. Just give me a second to get this up. Restream was a little bit slow. I will be honest.
Why did he ask us if we were ready if he wasn't ready?
Well, I was hoping y'all weren't ready. So
sorry, not ready.
Good.
Let me get a drink of water. Then
we'll start with the Friday Night Truck Series since that's the premier series. So we'll go ahead and bring up the point standings for it. There it is.
Hey-o.
And there it is. Your round of 12 for the. I'm surprised we don't have a round of 13 so far. Normally, every season in Goat Locker, we always have to add somebody to the play.
We did.
Oh, you did?
We did in the late model series.
Okay. So. Well, okay. All right, there we go.
No, one of the ARCA series, the ARCA AM division. We had to add one. Yeah, we'll see it when it happens.
Hey, but applause for doing the right thing, and I love it. Sometimes when you make a mistake, it's Goat Locker's never shied away from making it right. So round of 12. Well, this has been a crazy season, and honestly, really solid round of 12. You got J Cam, Jeremy Gardner, McCarty, Levi McCarty, Patrick Dravick, Timothy Peters, Craig Bontrager, Jake Ellingson, Jamie Mullins, Mike Browning, which I want to talk a little bit about Mike Browning, but we'll finish off with Michael McCarthy, George Jewell, and Steve McDonald having a quiet little entry into the playoffs. I haven't heard much about him this season. He's been just plugging away and able to get into the playoffs.
Yeah, this has been one of those seasons in trucks. Last season we talked all the way up into the playoffs about no one was a repeat winner until we got into the playoffs. This regular season, Jake Ham showed up to play.
Yeah.
4 race wins over the regular season. Really kind of probably could have chalked up 1 or 2 others. I mean, he's been running up front each and every week, and it's been quite impressive. So it's going to be interesting to see how he makes his run through the playoffs, or how some of these other guys, step up. But, the wins weren't quite as spread out this season as they were last season. I mean, you got Jake with, Ham with 4. I think Gardner had 2, Levi had 2, I had 1, and Peters had 1. So a lot of guys that, came in and on points this time. But it's a pretty stout field again.
Yeah, for sure. And definitely some new names in there. McCarthy and McDonald. I mean, this is McCarthy's first season in the trucks, and he punches his ticket into the playoffs. So, good for him. And Mike Browning. I mean, gosh, that I forget what they call that team now, because it's not Indy Auto Sports anymore. They're something different now, Black Sheep or something like that. It's something different, but it's Jake, Ham, it's Mike Browning, Goshen's on that team. Regis, if he was here, which I don't understand why he's not back to racing, because his little leave after deployment's over with, but yet he keeps dodging us or whatever. I mean, come race, man. I mean, quit being stupid. But yeah, I mean, they have elevated their performance, right? They've had some change in personnel there, and they're not as annoying to race around anymore. you know, you can race around them without feeling like your night's going to be over because you're making a pass on them or they're passing you. So, you know, it's been impressive, and congratulations to all those guys. Even Goshen was close to making the playoffs, but maybe
I had a great. Hey, he almost won that race if they didn't have that caution that came out.
Yeah, if I don't freaking screw up, I mean, he might have won that race.
He would have been in.
But I tell you what, who was it? George Jewell. I thought George Jewell was on the other side of the cut line. So Friday's race, where were we at? Nashville.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought he was safe into the playoffs, and because I didn't have enough races to make the playoffs, but we were a drag racing to the line to take the checkered, and I beat him by a nose to take that. I think it was take 6th away from him or something, But that's one spot. And then when I went and looked at the standings afterwards, I was like, oh man, he was -5 points on the other side of the line. So then I got nervous that I kind of maybe kept him out of the playoffs. So I was glad to see he got through because I could have easily just stayed behind him, but it was a spot.
That's right.
Yeah,
that didn't mean a thing.
Give you a couple stats. We'll only do this for the Friday series. It's the only one that that and the Xfinity series I have loaded into Sim Racer Hub. But we'll give you some stats for the season for the Friday SAVE22 Truck Series. Jeremy Garner with a 3.3 average finish out of 9 races. I think Jake Cam obviously has sort of taken the limelight with his 4 wins, but Garner now with 2 wins and the best average finish out of anybody. Pretty impressive season he's put together. Sounds like he'd be pretty dangerous.
Oh yeah.
And, other people down this list, J-Cam, of course, is right behind him. Patrick Dravick with a 6.8. But those two have sort of been the top dogs. Jeremy Garner, 3.3 average finish. J-Cam, 3.9. And then Dravick with Pat, you've got 6.8. And you got Mike Browning is the next one up at 7.9. So that tells a lot why he is where he is. And honestly, been really surprised by that whole little group. They have been really, really quick.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's see. We'll go to some other stats. Number of top 5s. Well, Pat, Jake, and Jeremy take that one. Mike George with his 1 start's got the most 100% top 5s. We'll give a shout out to the most incidents in the series.
Ooh, there we go.
That's always fun.
Nobody
will ever get mad about this. And it's David Duke with his 8 starts has 58 incidents. James Kaufman in second with 53, and Michael McCarthy with 50. And then you've got Levi McCarty with 48, and then Patrick Dravick with 45. So. Hey, look, everybody's getting a little piece.
That's right. That's right.
Shout out probably the safest driver, and dadgummit, that's why they're in the playoffs like they are. Jamie Mullins with 13 incidents for the entire season out of 9 races. Very impressive. Craig Bontrager, 19 incidents out of 9 races. Jake Ham with 22. And Steve McDonald, 10 races. This is the most for anybody that has completed all 10 races, has only 22 incidents for the entire season. So, hey,
impressive.
Maybe a runner-up go to the week there for those guys.
Mm-hmm.
Keeping it clean, and it shows. Look, I mean, they're both in the playoffs. So, just awesome. For some reason, they have quality passes here as a stat. I don't even know what that means.
I don't either.
Yeah, how do you what's a quality pass?
I don't know. But whatever it is, Patrick tied with Jacob Ellingson for 66 quality passes. So whatever that means, y'all are the best at it.
Well, it probably means that we went to the back and had to come to the front so many damn times and pass so many damn trucks. That's probably that's the only reason that happened.
Oh, my goodness. Well, incredible season for the SAVE22 Truck Series. I cannot wait to see who comes out on top. It's going to be a blast. I don't really want to put y'all on the spot since y'all are in it for predictions. But Jake Ham is sort of on a tear here lately. It'd be really hard not to expect him to at least win and advance himself into the next round and likely going to make the championship 4. But outside of that, Gardner has been pretty consistent, obviously. So those two kind of, you kind of expect them to make it all the way. But then you've got everybody else after that. Timothy Peters, I think, no shade, but just looking down the list, Timothy Peters was really good at Lime Rock. Just unbelievable.
Yeah. Lights out.
I mean, just crushed. And so he showed up with what he needed to do in that race and locked himself in. But he hasn't really been, a big contender, throughout the rest of the season. So I'm excited, not to dog him. I'm excited to see what he can do once he gets in playoff conditioning and see if he can get up there and challenge for wins. Craig Bontrager's been on the cusp of a win a couple times. It's just been right there. So I think he can definitely go long. And you got the guys who've been driving safe. You've got Mullins, you've got Browning, Jewell, and McDonald. Those guys can make it all the way, I think, just by being safe and not doing what they've been doing all season. So lots of good opportunity for folks. McCarthy can ever kind of wrangle it in, get it all, take his mind off pickleball and get going. He's got plenty of speed. I've seen him go out there and run up front, but he's got to stay out of trouble. In playoffs, in two races per round, you just don't have the opportunity to make too many mistakes. So I think if he can get the mistakes and get the aggression down, just to pull it down to 98%, I think he's got a shot as well. So a lot of folks can go all the way. It's going to be fun. Y'all have anything else?
Nah, let's move on.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'd really like for y'all to have something else because it takes me a minute to swap. I'm kidding.
We're missing these little cues.
Yeah, we need to come up with some code words there, Eddie, so we know what you really want.
I'm just making a joke. It's all good. All right, let's move to the late model. And this is the one we don't really get to see because there's no broadcast.
Right.
So we don't get to see it. But, I mean, obviously Riley Duncan has been sort of the talk of the town. A lot of people had, not too happy about that. And I say, well, I don't know what you want sometimes. If you're expecting to go in, if you want to race in a league where you win everything, go find it, I guess. I don't know. But so there's always going to be somebody that is going to beat somebody else. And somebody's going to be better than you. And right now it's been Riley Duncan. Although this season has been really competitive. If you look back at the list of those who have won, you've got Brandon Kiger. Won last week, and then Jamie Mullins got his first win of the season. Yep. Tanner Bethea, which I don't know if he'll get any more wins. Chris Drabick. What? Who?
Morris. Chris Morris.
Chris Morris.
Boy, was I confused. Yeah, Chris Morris Jr. takes the win. He has not changed his name yet.
No, he has not.
Riley has won a bunch before that. Tommy Limley. So Riley's not been, super dominant. He hasn't won the last 5 races. So the late model series looks competitive, though. It's really cool to see names like Warren Clayton. I don't know. I don't really know who Tyus is. Sorry, but they're in. You got the most confusing the most confusing names to put together. I can't even say it. Yes. Jacob Limke. Jamie Lipke, I don't know. I don't ever know which one it is, but both of them are in the playoffs. You got McQueen. I'm assuming that's Lightning McQueen. You got Heights, which is a great bottle of ketchup. Chance Taylor, and then Cameron Weisenberg, and then Jacob Denson. I'm glad to see Denson up there. I'm going to talk a little bit about him in the Xfinity series. I've been surprised how off he seemed this season. Denson was up there, winning races up the front every single week, and this season the Xfinity Series has not been a great one. So good to see him in the playoffs. Y'all got anything about the late model series?
You haven't. Well, like you said, it's not broadcasted. I don't run in it, so if it's not going to be broadcasted, I don't get to see it. Judging by the soapbox. The fact that we made it to this point is probably kind of amazing. Congrats to Riley Duncan for, being as dominant as he's been all season.
Racing with a controller.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. My understanding is he races with a controller. Hope they have a good time in the playoffs. Hopefully, maybe somebody can find something to be competitive. If not, it's going to be quickly just Riley Duncan show, I guess.
Yeah. Well, late models are that's the Saturday night, weekend warrior type series where you're just all over each other all the time. You don't get a break. There's no tracks where you're like, okay, I get a break this week. And no, you're racing nose to tail pretty much the whole time. And you have a lot of cautions. You get a lot of restarts. It can be frustrating. Short tracks are just if you got any kind of mental disabilities like I do, you don't need to be running late models where you get upset or you got fragile egos or it'll wear you out. So
yeah, they've done some really cool things with this series. I mean, it kind of started off one way, went a different direction. I think we've got some really cool things that are going to happen with it as we advance forward, and hopefully get just some guys to settle into this series and be some regulars with it as well. But it's so cool, when we put these things together like this. First time we've done the late models, and we have a couple people within Discord that just like, hey, I want to put this together, and we're like, go for it. And it turns into this, and we get this great group of guys that comes out and races and yells at each other at the end of every race. But that's that short track racing, on a Friday night, but congratulations to all these guys. It's so cool to see these names, and heck, it's even kind of cool to see some of these names. You're like, who the heck is that guy? That just goes to show you how far we've grown and stuff like that. So go get them. Let's see what happens.
Well, and having different types of if you're just oval, you're only going to attract the oval type. You're a big oval NASCAR-y type folks, but there is a huge group of people that are out there that want to run late models, that want to run GT3 cars, or want to run these different type things that they wouldn't be able to come in and be a part of this because we don't have anything for them. So it's nice to see folks stepping up doing these type of things, and the late model series is just another one of them. So congratulations to those folks. We're going to move on to the Cruising Classics Next Gen Series, our next up Premier Series, and this has been a wild. It's been a wild season. Probably the most frustrating season that I've personally had in these cars. And I don't know why. I raced in Apex, and we raced Darlington, and it was the most fun I ever had. But the night we raced Darlington in this series, it was awful. So I'm not really sure what I've got going on. But these are your round of 12: Brandon Evans, Jeremy Garner, Patrick Drabbit, Jesse Whittington. There's me, Ryan Pendleton, Jason Taylor. And let's see, is that Levi McCarty? Yeah, Levi McCarty, Charles Stevens, Timothy Williams, Michael Bennett, and George Jewell making another round of 12 in the Premier Series. I tell you what, George Jewell has improved so much. There's a lot of people in my mind when I think of folks that I have seen when they first get started and people that have improved, and he is on that list. He has gotten so much better over the time that I've known him, and here he is, the round of 12 in both Premier Series.
Yeah, I mean, he's always had the speed. It's been putting the races together. A lot of times we get into practice and you'll see him up towards the top of the leaderboard, that 1 lap, 2 lap speed or whatever. But when it came to putting races together, I mean, but he's worked a lot. He's worked a lot with the SAVE22 team, guys like Jeremy Gardner and Brandon Evans and all those guys over there, help him really figure this car out and put races together. And I had to race door to door with him a couple different times. I'm like, dang. He's putting the heat to me right now. So, he is definitely improved, and congratulations. I mean, he made the playoffs in both Premier Series. That's incredible.
I'm going to tell you, the other one I'll lump in with that is Charles Stevens. We really hadn't seen him running full time here until now this year with the Next Gen Series. I really didn't know what to expect. I mean, I love Charles Stevens to death, but last time me and Pat, I know you probably saw him more with the Sunoco Cup thing, whatever they were doing. But the last time me and Pat saw him was really at Rebels. And, he was there, but he wasn't super competitive. And here, Phoenix, I mean, he was giving Brandon Evans all he wanted, you know. So, man, hats off to Charles Stevens. He's really come a long way, you know, and here he is in the playoffs. Got just as good a shot as anybody else. So,
yeah. There's a lot of real big hitters. Obviously, it's a Premier Series, but the one guy that I know I feel like is going to be a lot for the championship forward, I'm going to put it in right now, is Jesse Whittington. He's sort of a quiet, unassuming type of guy. I know we had a run in at Auto Club, but you know, if you sim race for too long, you water under the bridge, you know, that type of stuff. You don't hold on to it for too long. But I see him race every week, and he has got the strategy figured out. He does the same thing every week, and we always let him beat us. It seems like he goes out there, runs about half a second off the pace, and then comes roaring back by you in about 20 laps. I think he is definitely he races with us over at Apex. I think he's won 2 in a row over there, so he's got this car kind of figured out. I'd be surprised if he doesn't make it all the way to the end. I feel like Jesse has had put together a pretty good season.
Yeah, he's a lot of fun to race around too, and he's done a lot here in Goat Locker Racing. He's always, you know, stepping up and helping out, and a lot of fun to be around, a lot of fun to race. And then, I think you kind of nailed it there, Eddie. It's like all of a sudden out of nowhere, here he comes, and I'm like, gosh darn it! I was up here battling Gardner and you know, Evans or in Pendleton, and then all of a sudden I got, you know, this 94 breathing down my neck. So again, a lot of fun this season. I almost have to echo a little bit of what you said, though, Eddie. It's been pretty frustrating. It seems that, you know, it's been, at least for me, it's been hit or miss when I get on track with this car. There have been weeks it was great, you know, and then there were weeks like Phoenix where I couldn't figure that car out to save my butt.
Yeah.
Here come the playoffs. We'll see what happens when those hit, but I think your pick for that 94 is a pretty solid one.
Yeah, Evans and Gardner, obviously they're good every week, and you have been up there running up front. Ryan Pendleton's had a really good season in the next gen. He's just kind of he'll be really good one week and then be a little bit off the next, and he get that consistency down. It really depends on the tracks, and I'm curious now that we're talking about it. I'm going to look at the schedule. And so in the round of 12 for the next gen, we got Charlotte, which I think will be a pretty good track for like if you win that track, you know there's really not much you can say. That's a track that requires a good amount of skill. Dover is another one. Kansas, I mean, lights out the first 3 races. Richmond, I don't know, not a huge fan of that combo. Richmond has sort of soured on me in the last few years on iRacing, but Charlotte, Dover, Kansas, that's a pretty solid bunch. I think everybody on that round of 12 is pretty good at those places, so I'd be interested to see who comes out on top.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. We got the Tuesday Xfinity Series. We'll get that up in just a second. Boom!
Oh!
Well, I've enjoyed calling this one this season. It's been a lot of fun. And there's your round of 12. Chris Drabick, and you got Patrick Drabick, and you got Daniel Cunningham, Jonah Colbert, Ryan Pendleton, Levi McCarty, Michael Kostick, Jacob Ellingson, Jamie Barcus, George Jewell, Frederick Seagraves Jr., and Chris Sawyer. Chris Sawyer, last season's Daytona winner, going to sneak in there in the round of 12. And he's not had a great season. I'm sure he's been frustrated a few times, but he's able to get in. Him and Frederick Seagraves. Seagraves had a wild last race. He was right there on that cutoff line, and he had a nightmare of a race to start with, and kept working at it, and was able to get back into the mix. And I don't know. This season's been pretty good.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I mean, for me, the Xfinity car is the best car on the service. I always have a lot of fun when I get behind the wheel of this thing. The racing has been incredible. Racing door to door with a lot of these different guys, and this has been another one of those series that we've had a lot of guys winning. You know, and it's probably had the most parity amongst all the series so far. I mean, the wins kind of spread themselves out. No one's really kind of ran away with anything. So, you know, if we were sit here and try to predict, you know, who's going to make it to that championship four, I don't know. Throw some darts at the playoff grid. Let's see where they land.
Well, Barcus, you're in it, so say something.
Yeah,
Dadgummit.
I mean, yeah, I think whatever changes have come recently with, whatever iRacing's done with models and all that kind of stuff, they have kind of gone back on the Xfinity car, I think, a little bit, where that car is really, it's how I want to say this. It's not just building loose, it's pretty much starting loose everywhere. And it's making it harder to drive, which is making the racing more competitive, I feel like. So it's definitely a funner car to drive right now than it has been maybe in the last couple seasons we've done. So I'm looking forward to the playoffs, and we'll see what we can do with it,
Yeah. Well, there's been some exciting moments coming out of this one. I mean, the ninth to first last lap drive from Jonah Colbert at where was that? Was that at
Atlanta?
It was in Atlanta.
Yeah, it was Atlanta.
One of the wildest things I've ever seen in Goat Locker. I still think about it from time to time. I'll be at work and I'll just
so do I.
I'll just randomly think about how that all happened. If you haven't seen it, if you don't remember it, go check out the old Atlanta race in the Xfinity Series of this past season. Incredible finish, crazy, worth a watch. And Jonah Colbert gets that win. So one of the most memorable races came out of this particular series, and I love calling it. It's such a good race, low caution counts, and always puts on a pretty good show. And I've got stats for that as well. As we look down the list here, you can't see it, I know, but I'm gonna tell you. Just listen to me. Average finish in the season not as good as what we saw out of the Truck Series. So this shows you just how competitive it is. In the Truck Series, Gardner and Ham sort of is kind of they've kind of just taken that series by storm this season. But in this one, Pat, actually you have the highest average finish. No, not surprising, but at 7.5 is the best average finish out of anybody with 8+ races. If that don't tell you how tough this series is, that ought to tell you, because that is a low average finish for a playoff driver, in my opinion. I feel like normally you see somebody that's just up there kicking ass.
Yep.
And so you and Christopher Morse are kind of neck and neck. You got Ryan Pendleton right behind them. So really great job by those folks. As far as incidents go, poor old Frederick Seagraves, who's playoff driving, he's got 109 incidents on the season, along with along with Kevin Price, who's at 104. Kevin, he's always happy to hear me say good things about him. Sorry, Kevin. But hey, look, this means you got a lot of room for improvement. I mean, a lot.
That's true. That's true.
You look back on this, you go, all I got to do is I could do 90 next season.
That's right.
Well, it's kind of crazy to hear someone getting that many incident points, because the racing has not shown that. Right?
Wait a minute.
Uh-oh.
So in third place with 88 incidents is Patrick Drabick. What's going on? That is a lot.
Hey, you get in my way. I mean, you're going to get the chrome horn.
Well,
that's all I got to say.
We know that. Christopher Morse Jr. in fourth with 80. Just having fun with that. Doesn't really mean anything. Quality passes, my favorite stat now. Christopher Morse Jr. has 97 quality passes on the season. So congratulations on your quality passes, Christopher Morse Jr. You got it going on. As far as drivers who are the safest, Timothy Stubblefield with 0.01 incidents per corner out of 8 races. So
wow.
Stubblefield got it going on when it comes to being safe, driving carefully. Jamie Barcus, 8 races. He's got I lost my spot. Where the heck am I? Jamie Barcus has just 31 incidents for his entire season. So congratulations, Jamie. Jonah Colbert with 38. Ryan Pendleton with 40, Daniel Cunningham with 43, and that's somebody that I wanted to talk about in this series. Cunningham was able to get a win finally. And man, I tell you what, that has been a tough go for him. Wilkesboro of all places, what a cool way to win. He was able to get that dub, but he has been Sheldon Creeding it up for a long time, finishing second, third, fourth, fifth, second, just top fiving himself to death.
Yeah.
And I've been waiting on him to finally get that win, and he was able to get it done. So with that being said, I feel like that's one of those things where the monkey's holding you down, you get him off your back, and all of a sudden you're able to kind of go pin your ears back and go after him. So I'm expecting to see Daniel Cunningham kind of drive deep into the playoffs this season. Who y'all got besides yourself?
Oh, well, then I got nothing else to say.
Well, Chris Morris is going to be tough because he's capable of winning every week.
Mm-hmm.
But, he will make his fair share of mistakes too. So Ryan can show up at freaking 1 minute before qualifying starts and talk about how, I haven't even turned the lap yet. And he goes out and sits on the pole. So Ryan's definitely going to be tough there. And Jake, if Jake ever gets back to doing what he knows he needs to do and kind of stop with the theatrics and the getting all wrapped around the axle over everything, he's definitely capable of winning each and every week. So those definitely be my three, probably outside of us, that I would say have a legit shot.
Yeah. Well, I've been frustrated with Jake, and I'm going to throw a little shade here at Jake and say that I've been frustrated with him because he's got all the talent. He's got what he needs to win championships and races. A perfect example is when Levi McCarty, I think him and Levi McCarty had an incident where they drive down pit road, they bump into each other. I think that was in the Xfinity Series. If I'm not, yeah, that was last week, and they bump each other going down pit road. I mean, the reason why is ifs and buts, candy and nuts, but they both had a speeding penalty, and Levi McCarty wins the race. And if Jake if he's got everything he needs, he's just got to stop quitting. That's one thing I get so irritated watching him just give up when something doesn't go his way. And if he can ever stop quitting in these races and stick with it, and just kind of like you said, get everything under wraps. I mean, he's got everything he needs. Just got to get that frustration from boiling over and keep his head in the game. Because last week's a great example of somebody. If you can just stay in it, don't give up. Sometimes you finish 3 laps down because you never get that caution you need. Then sometimes you get to come back and win the race. And so I hope to see Jake kind of get that back going. He's one of those guys that I feel like when I first met him, he was good for about 3 laps.
Yep.
He could give you the best 3 laps that anybody could ever give you. And then after that, he's gone. But he has improved upon that as definitely one of the faster drivers in Goat Locker. If he can ever just get it under wraps and just keep his stuff in control, he's going to win a ton of races.
Yeah, I mean, when me and Pat first saw him, we were calling the ARCA series over at Rebels. It's the first time we saw Jake, and he's out there running whatever schemes.
There we go.
He's out there running whatever schemes his daughter picked out for him that week. It might have been a pink pony car, whatever, My Little Pony, or something with skulls all over it. And, you would see Jake, and he could put down a fast lap. But he was pretty much just getting started, and, he couldn't finish a race. And we would say all the time, if Jake ever learns how to finish a race, he can win. He can be very competitive. Well, he did that, and he's won championships.
Yep.
I almost feel like Jake's one, has just kind of, after that happened, after he wins the championships, I kind of feel like he just expects that's it, right?
Yeah.
I win championships. That's, now it's just going to happen all the time. Well, that's not reality. That season's done and over with. You got that belt, you got that trophy, you got whatever you got, right? Now another season's coming up. You got to do the same things you did to get to that point. And all that stuff has gone out the window. It really has. You're frustrated for being in a broadcast, seeing it. Well, I go speak for Pat, but we're probably pretty frustrated too listening to it, and if Jake will freaking remove that head from where it's at and focus back on what's important, those wins will start coming again. And that's why I'm saying he is just as dangerous as Chris Morris or Ryan, anybody else in this series to win this Xfinity. If that light bulb clicks back on, Jake's very capable of just running through these playoffs and winning this championship.
Well, one thing you don't want to do is give your competitors your switch. You don't want your competitors to know what gets you upset and what takes you out of the race. That's one thing that you don't want them to know is if I get into him a little bit, he's gonna get mad and get rattled, and you don't want to give your triggers to your competitors because they're going to use them, and they're going to use it against you. And so, I don't know. We're not really picking on Jake. We're telling the truth and just saying that we care that he has a good time and we enjoy him being here because he does a lot for Goat Lockers. We want to see him do really well. So, and there's a lot of guys that have that same issue. He's just at the step. I feel like there's 5 stages of grief or something like that. I feel like there's 5 stages of iRacing racers. You start off at the beginning. You don't know what's going on. You don't even know the flags. You don't even know what you're doing on the track. You don't know. You have to turn the driving line on to go left at an oval. All that type of stuff. And then you get where you can get into the race. You can complete a race. All right. And then you get to a race and you can't qualify well because you can't put down the lap. But then you can really run down guys at the end of these runs. You start to learn how to save your stuff. You start to learn how to be consistent, all those things. Then you figure out how to run a fast lap time. You get out there and you run 1 lap runs 30 times in a practice session, and you are able to hit a lap time. Start up front, you burn your shit up in 5-10 laps. Then you move on to the next step, which is where you've learned how to kind of put it all together and run these races from start to finish. Start up front, maintain track position, don't make mistakes. And everybody goes through those steps, I think. I think everybody kind of has to work your way through. You don't go from I'm starting here, I don't know what the hell's going on, to I'm winning races. You got to work your way up there. So everybody's at different steps, and I definitely think Jake's at the top of the rung when it comes to that. So,
great.
All right, it looks like Pat's ready for us to move on.
Always.
The Xfinity series is one of my favorites, but man, I tell you what, my favorite series as I
ARCA.
waste time.
Yeah, it's ARCA. We know it's ARCA.
Boom! ARCA series.
Not boom.
And we're gonna start with the amateur first. And this has been awesome, and I can't wait I just can't wait to see this whole thing through. We got a new car, which is kind of through and we're gonna have a question about the ARCA. What do y'all feel about the ARCA? No, I'm kidding.
No, we're not doing that. I'm not doing that.
Well, here's your round of 9 in the ARCA series for the amateur division. Jeremiah Holt, well deserved, on top of the board, and then my dad, Alan Smith, first season here, locked in got a win. I can't remember. I think he might have 2 wins. Honestly,
I think he does.
Yeah. So how about that? Man, just a winning family around here. We gotta get my grandmother on there or something. See if she can. We got a granny league we're gonna start up or anything. She'll kick some ass.
Nope. Well, maybe.
Cliff Adams is there in as well as Devin Smith, my teammate in the pro amateur team deal. Devin's awesome. I've enjoyed Devin being around, and he has been a lot of fun to race with. He's had some tough times getting it caught up in people's messes and stuff, and I think some stuff that he has kind of brought on himself. But he has done really good. You got Libke, you got Chuck Feltz, Mark Cofield, and then I think that's Sean Pope McCarthy. I believe that's right, and David Calvert. So pretty solid field there. Can't wait to see how that all plays out.
Yeah, and again, I mean, this will be the second time we're crowning a pro and an AM champion. So yeah, can't wait to see how some of this plays out. Again, I think it's so cool to see Devin Smith up here. Another one that was awarded one of our veteran sim rigs to see the evolution and the progress that they're making. To see Warren Clayton make the playoffs there in the late model stocks, to see Devin here in the AM, ARCA AM. Can't wait to see some more of these guys, jump up in here. But it's always good to see some of these other names too.
I'm curious to see how this team thing's shaking out.
Yeah, well, I got to work on that. I've got a problem I got to figure out. I think I finally solved it, but because the points get reset and y'all add 1,000 points and 2,000 points to the next
Mhm.
round, I have to go back in there and I'm gonna have to upload them to Sim Racer Hub, all the races, to keep up with that. But yeah, I mean, as of the moment, me and Devin are kind of pulling away with it, but the Dans are right there. So,
Mhm.
and there's a lot that can happen in the playoffs. Points can really move around, but it's been a good little 3-way battle. So I can't wait to see how that plays out either. I just got to put the points in the unofficial pro ram. So I'm not. There's no
Right,
pressure.
right,
There's
right.
no pressure for me to do it. I got other things going on. Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm excited to see Chuck Phelps. He was super disappointed last week. He had an opportunity to actually get that AM win, so I'm expecting to see him kind of turn the wick up a little bit. I've been waiting on Chuck, man. Just because I know he wants to win so bad. He wants to be competitive. He puts so much time into it. You want to see the fruit of your labor.
Yeah.
And Chuck I think he has admittedly said he's been sort of in a plateau. He's trying to figure out how to break through that plateau and get up to the next level. And so I'm excited to see maybe, the crushing defeat of not getting the win last week or a couple weeks ago. He can't do something here in the playoffs, and he's been competitive up there, doing a really good job. So
Mhm.
I'd like to see Chuck. I mean, I got a soft spot for Chuck because I really like Chuck. He's a good friend of mine. I just enjoy his company. He's just a great person in my eyes. Especially, if you're looking for somebody to go into battle with, I'm taking Chuck. I'm
Yeah.
taking
Yeah.
Chuck.
100%.
It's like a mama bear type thing. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I feel like if we were out in a group and somebody tried to mess with one of his people, you got a big problem on your hands. That's what I feel like. He's as
Mhm.
sweet as it can be until the time comes to you're messing with some of my people. You about to have problems, and so
Mhm.
yeah, I enjoy Chuck.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess that's all y'all got to say about that. Maybe I'm taking up all the time. Sorry. Here, y'all can talk in the pro. I'm gonna let y'all talk about this. All right, go.
Well, there was no boom. There was no nothing. It's just get ready, set, go. Yeah. Well, this is the traditional one, the round of 8 here with Chris Morris. And Chris Morris has had quite a few wins this season as well. Been doing a lot of really great things in this car. He was one of those guys too that was kind of I don't know. I think he had to take a moment when they retired the old ARCA car, and much like you, that was just sad. But it's good to see him there. Again, Andy Kurtz, who pokes his head in on some of the other series. So we'll see him time to time in the trucks or some of the other different places. But I know he's put his time in here and definitely there with the playoffs. And then Jonah. I don't know who that Wallace guy is. I've seen them.
I
I've
hear he's
heard.
terrible.
That's a
I've heard.
mistake.
Yeah, I've
That must
heard
be
the
a mistake.
99 number like a ton of times, but don't know who that joker is. And then Jake, here in the ARCA as well, and then the Mike McCarthy in another playoffs. So again, it's going to be so cool watching these 8 guys battle to make it to that championship race against the 9 other guys, in the AM division battling to make their championship race. And there's going to be some. There's going to be some run-ins that are going to cost, an AM driver and a pro driver, getting together on track, a chance to make it to the next round and things like that. So to see how some of that's going to play out, it's going to be really cool.
I just try to, as a pro driver, I try to make friends with all the amateur drivers that I can. So because I think that's the strategy here in the pro series. If you're the amateur, you should ought to be doing the same thing. You make as many friends as you can on the other side, your non-competitors, and that way they help you out, move out of the way, or you let them go, and you're a little bit more cordial. And so I've been trying to make friends with all the amateurs the best I can to help me out. They'll get up there and race maybe somebody I got that I'm fighting with or something like that. I don't know. Maybe that's why Morse has had such trouble. Is they've been back there racing the hell out of him. So I'm going to keep that up in the playoffs, I think. But no, it's cool to see my dad. He's in chat.
Yep.
He said the 99 would be higher in the standings if I hadn't wrecked him 4 or 5 times. So
he probably deserved it.
He'd
so he's
probably
not
be higher if he didn't suck so bad too.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
A lot of contributing factors to that.
So, but it's cool to see everybody having fun with this series.
Yeah.
My dad, he calls me. He's like, "Hey, I'm ready." He called my grandmother the other night, Monday morning, saying, "Hey, you got to watch the race tonight." And my grandmother called, and we were talking and stuff, and she goes, "So I'm gonna watch you race tonight." And I said, "Well, Granny, we're not racing tonight." She goes, "Well, your daddy said you were racing tonight, and I was gonna watch." I said, "Oh, I better call him." So he's excited. He doesn't even know we got a darn off week. He's excited every time. He was like, he went in to work early to make sure he got off time in time to be at the race, and it wasn't no race. So, but that's cool. I love to see that excitement. People are
Yeah.
having fun. I think the new car has been, really good at kind of, making the races clean and stuff. And gosh, I went from finishing second to Chris Morris, and now I'm finishing second to Mark Whitley. So I think my average finish this entire season is second, and I can't get them wins. So, but it's gonna be a good one. Go ahead, Jay.
Well, I want to stir the pot here. I want to do it on purpose because I'm looking at this name, and Mike McCarthy leads GLR. Since we want to talk about stats and stuff, Mike McCarthy leads GLR in suspensions, but yet here he is, playoffs for ARCA, playoffs for the trucks. Wasn't there another one he was in the playoffs for? Isn't he in Xfinity? Is he in the Xfinity playoffs?
I think so. Maybe.
I don't know.
So
we didn't talk about it or anything, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember. It seems like there was three of them.
Yeah, he's not in the Xfinity series.
Right. So I just say, I mean, for somebody that gets all the hate that he gets on a dang near nightly basis, I mean, he's in the playoffs for two different series. I don't know. The math isn't mathing. So either some people are being a little too sensitive, and maybe we should start. Okay, so it was Sunday. We haven't got to Sunday yet. He just let me know in chat that it's Sunday that he's in the playoffs as well. So 3 series that he runs in, and he's in the playoffs for them. I don't know. Maybe we need to start looking inwards when we're throwing the fingers and pointing fingers and all that stuff. With what's going on the track, because I don't know. Proof's kind of right there. I'm not saying any of us are perfect, and I'm definitely not saying Mike McCarthy's perfect by any means. But I don't think it's deserving all the hate that he's getting constantly. That's just my public service announcement on that.
All right. Well, I will wave at you from my boat while you're on the island. And
yes, I agree with you.
I'm waving at you on the island. That's on you. That's a hell of an opinion. I mean, it's the same thing as I said earlier. It's McCarthy's got the skill, and I've given him quite a few EOLs on Sunday nights as a race control, and it's just as simple as this. Don't let your anger get the best of you. Don't run over people. Don't make contact with people for no reason. If you need to make contact with somebody because they ran into you, I totally get it. But you're not going to get very far making a whole bunch of enemies. You got plenty of talent. Just use that to your advantage. Go out there and win races. You don't have to try until you run over somebody to get it done. Just go out there and let your talent speak for yourself. Keep your front end of your truck clean. Make friends with people that you race with all the time. Then you're going to be winning races every single week. And nobody's going to be talking crap to you all the time. Nobody's going to be all this stuff. That's a lot of heat. So if you like that heat, I guess that's fine. Maybe that's where he lives in that heat moment and wants all that heat on him all the time. You got plenty of talent. Just harness it a little bit, and you got it going on. But if you race around the same people every week and you make a few of them mad, they're going to make it a lot harder on you. It's never going to get easier. That's just my opinion. So, but opinions are like buttholes. We all got them. They stink. But this has been a fun season. I can't wait to see how the playoffs are going to play out this time with the pro and the amateur division. Just going to be so much fun. And of course, my favorite thing at the end of the season, all the other series are crowning one champion. We get to crown 2 champions on Monday night. What a cool thing to do. So Glove Station is there for that sponsorship of that series, and we appreciate them. Let's move on to. We got to get out of here. We're gonna take all night doing this stuff.
We're running a little
going to be
long.
a short one.
Yeah, we're running a little long here. That's all right. It's okay.
Well, Jamie, you went too long.
Yeah, that's true.
You're talking too much.
Jamie's talking way too much here.
All right, the 2025 playoffs for the InVets Truck Series. I have seen a lot of these races, and Jason McWhorter.
What?
Let me get his name. What's his name?
Who?
Joseph McWhorter.
Oh,
yeah. Well, I don't want to say somebody's wrong. I almost called him James McWhorter, but I don't know. I don't know who that is. But I just don't know him very well because it's his first season here. Joseph McWhorter he's been the dominant force this season. You got Travis Beaver, David Duke, Charles Abert. First time we talked about him tonight. Look at him over here in the playoffs. In the round of 12, you got Jeremiah Holt again, Jamie Lipke again, Brandon Wallace again, Steve McQueen again. I don't know who that is. Alex McQueen, I believe is who it is. Andrew Player. We don't get to talk about him much, but he has been a solid driver. Yes. I've seen him do really good things in the Sunday night series. And then you got McCarthy again, Kevin Price, and the grumpy butt himself, James Kaufman, makes it in the round of 12. How about that? I mean, this man has quit. He's quit the damn league like 5 times a week in the last month, and look, he's 100%. In the damn playoffs. So, congratulations to him.
Every time he throws up a message about, hey, all right, you guys have a fun rest of your season. We're like, okay, sure. And then he's week. He's right back on track again. And you're like, all right, man. Jim's awesome. And he is the grumpy old man of the bunch for sure. And again, the Sunday Truck Series is providing some of these guys that didn't get a chance to qualify on Friday nights to get out here and race these trucks. And we get to see some other guys, parking it in victory lane, making playoffs and things like that. So it's cool to see somebody like Jim Kaufman make it. Charles Abert, who's really had a pretty solid next gen, run too. Yep. He's had some good races. Yep. Just not enough to kind of piece a season together to make the playoffs there, but to see him make the playoffs here is really cool.
Yep.
100%. Who's going to win this thing? I mean, no idea.
I think the favorite's got to be McWhorter, right? I mean, he came. I'm kind of surprised he's had enough races to qualify for the playoffs because I thought he came in late in the year, late in the season, but maybe not. But it sure seems like he's won like the last 6 races in a row or something like that. It's been kind of crazy because every week he's at the top of the podium.
Yeah.
Well, I think this series kind of suffers from a lot of lack of consistency out of some of the drivers. There's people that come in and race, this week, and they'll skip 2 weeks and they come back and race. It's a lot of in and out that happened. So McWhorter has been he's been able to kind of run this show. Now you got Mark Whitley, his buddy that's joined. But then like last week, they had a great battle. The Beavers have been up there battling. Travis Beaver is having probably one of the best seasons that he's had in Goat Locker in this one, and Andy Kurtz shows up from time to time to kick everybody's butt. So it's just kind of one of those series that's I have to be careful how I say this because it's not the runoff series, but that's kind of what it's like, a weekend series where hey, come in, run Sunday nights. And so there's just a few committed drivers. It feels like so. But it's perfectly fine, and honestly, it's been some good racing. There's been some really tough ones, but some really good ones as well.
Yeah, no, it's been a lot of fun, and it's a lot of fun to put on a second truck series. And again, like I was saying before, give these guys a shot to get out there and race the trucks against each other and have some fun with it. So, can't wait to see how this one plays out as well.
Well, the last series that we're going to talk about is one that I have missed greatly, and I cannot wait to get back and race. And that's been the Saturday night GT3 series. I don't know if this is up to date, honestly, so I'm probably going to look right here and just make sure. But I think they only got a couple races remaining, right?
No, they have 5. They have 5 remaining races.
Do they really?
They do.
Okay. Well, I'm excited. I've had to pick up a broadcast for some folks that we lost at V Speed, so my Saturday nights have been just doing that, and so I had to stop running it. And then this weekend I'll be out of town, which is good because there's no Saturday night race. So I'm excited to get back into this thing. But Ken Huber, which is somebody that y'all will hear more from. I'm excited. I'm excited he's a part of this thing. He has been just dominating. 5 wins on the season. Clear. I mean, his average finish of the season is first. That's as good as it gets. I mean, you can't.
Yeah,
do any
I don't
better
think it
than
gets
that.
much better than that. No,
I don't
no.
think you can get an average finish of 0. I think the world would it's a black hole and we'd all get sucked in. I don't know. But Zachary Menace has been really good as well. I mean, he's been solid every single week. And somebody I didn't know was a very good road course racer, I just didn't know. I've raced around him for a long time, is Bobby Germain.
Yeah.
Bobby Germain surprised the hell out of me the first night we raced this series, and he was just gone. I'm like, wait a minute, well, he was gone. I never saw him again, and he has been really good. Kevin Price, he's been just chugging along, and look at him, 4th in the points, I do believe. Yes, fourth in the points on the standings, but also on iRacing. So I'm just kind of cross-referencing here. So Kevin Price, look at him up there in 4th in the standings. Got Tim Jones, who runs the damn thing. He's up in 5th. He's obviously giving him a couple extra points. Must be.
I mean,
so
yeah. I'm hoping this is something that we can build on as we move forward.
Yeah.
We've definitely got some guys that can run in this series and compete each and every week, but they've only been able to pop in and out. Guys like Cody McElwain, Nate Graham has been back as well, and he is an incredible road racer. Brian Provo as well, Ryan Pendleton. So if we can get I'd like to see some more consistency out of those guys. But we're going to continue to build on this, continue to build on the sports car series, and hopefully make it into a thing. But yeah, I mean, Ken Huber's been lights out. I'm a huge fan. Don't know the guy from anybody. Huge fan because he's out there just whooping some ass in a Corvette. So good on him.
There you go.
Yeah, might see him in the booth come in the future. So
yeah, and when you brought up Bobby Germain, Eddie, you might not have been around a whole lot when we tried this GT3 series back a few years ago, and weren't getting a lot of participation in it. So when the Gen 4 came out, we fell in love with that car, and we scrapped the GT3 series and just rolled it into a Gen 4 series. Well, Bobby Germain came to GLR for that GT3 series.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, that's what he came in here for. He was one of the only guys that actually stuck around. Of the people that joined for that series, he was really the only one that stuck around when we disbanded it and went to the Gen 4. So
Gotcha.
I would say the GT3 car is probably more his natural car rather than the stock cars are. So I'd kind of forgotten about that. So I was shocked that first week, and he was out there running as good as he was. I was like, man, Bobby's got some speed out here. And then I remembered, I was like, oh yeah, that's what he came over here to do. So yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I mean, as long as Tim Jones is willing to put in the time and effort to put it together and stuff, I mean, it's it's awesome, and we appreciate him. But I just can't wait to get back on track. I've been missing that really bad. So the Saturdays, y'all be ready. J-Cam, wherever you at, I'm coming for you. Turn 1 again, I'll be there. Trash driver on his way. I've been missing some GT3s, so I might break the rules and lose all my points and change to Ford Mustang. So
I might have to show up this week coming up too as well because it's Watkins Glen.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that is a good one, huh?
That is a really good one.
Are they racing this Saturday? They're not racing this Saturday, right?
No. No,
they?
not
Oh, okay.
2 days from now.
Following Saturday.
Correct.
Gotcha.
Is Watkins Glen.
All right, I might show up for that. My biggest issue, one, it's Saturday night. That's tough for me to do Saturday nights. 2, and believe me, I'm not knocking them for this, but it's tracks. We're running on tracks I'm not familiar with. So I don't have the time to, one, give up a Saturday night, and then the time to put in to learn these tracks to be able to come out and race. So, but yeah, I mean, I know Watkins Glen. Well, I know the NASCAR layout. I guess we'd have to learn that little boot thing or whatever.
The boot's pretty easy.
So yeah, but yeah, I might show up for that one.
Yeah, well, you ought to. It's been a I should probably get this off the screen here, but yeah, I've enjoyed it just because I got to race the Porsche for the first time and was really blown away about how much fun I had in it. I thought I would run it for 1 week and be like, go back to the Mustang, but the Porsche has actually been pretty surprising about how much fun I had. So I love it. I love GT3 racing. I wish we had enough support to have multiple classes. I think that would probably be a bad idea, but but it's been fun. Yeah, it's been fun. So I'm hoping that Tim, keeps it going after the season, takes the stuff that didn't work and stuff that did work, and kind of puts it together and keeps it going. So I hope that's the case, and I hope we can get it broadcast, because I can tell you right now, I love broadcasting GT3 races. Road course racing like that is pretty fun. There's a lot of strategy and stuff involved. And it's worth the broadcast for sure.
We need to get Scott Rankin to come over and broadcast for that. We need somebody with a British or an Australian accent if we're going to be doing, GT3 cars.
It really does make a huge difference when somebody, even the biggest idiot, if they speak British, they somehow can make it just sound really
makes
good.
it seems legit. Yeah.
I'm with you. Anybody could get Lee Diffie to come in. I don't know if we can pull that off, but I think Scott Rankin would be a good alternative.
Well, hey, look, that's a good job for you. If you're looking for something to do, Jamie, if you want to reach out to Lee Diffie and get him, we would glad to have him.
We got to wave to him at Bristol last year.
That's true.
Yeah.
Like, hi.
Well, that rounds out every bit of the conversation we had, and boy, we did a great job as Tim Jones posts the latest standings right now. So now we're up to date, but I think we hit the high points like we needed to. I'll go through the rest of the list. Tim Jones in 5th, Brian Provo in 6th, Jason Black, Devin Smith, Tyler Rice, Jim Kaufman, Casey Jones, and Tyler Justice is your top. That's 12, but 12? Yeah. Cool. Yeah, they're just doing whatever they want to do over there at the GT3 series, doing top 12. But great season, a lot of fun. I think that's it, guys. I don't know. I think we've done plenty tonight. We've had more stuff to do, but I think we'll call it there. And Michael McCarthy says Goat Talk is the best 2-hour, 1-hour podcast out there. I've tried. I swear I've tried. I said it's going to be 1 hour. And we just got too much stuff going on. Y'all stop making shit interesting. I would love to come in and not have anything to talk about, but no, I don't. No, I wouldn't. I actually like doing this. So, yeah.
You did tell me it was going to be a short one tonight, though.
I did. Well, yeah, that's what happens. All right, guys. Well, that is plenty. Y'all got anything else? Jamie, Pat?
Just glad to be here.
All right. Well, I am really been trying to work on these dismounts, and this week I actually put a lot of effort into the